The lore of Sylvanas Windrunner is without a doubt one of the most amazing stories in all of World of Warcraft. And today we're going to take a look at the Windrunner Sisters and specifically what happened to Sylvanas throughout her history. Now, if you want to fill your pockets with gold, be an expert in any profession, and dominate the battle for Azeroth, hammer that subscribe button now and slam on that bell icon for instant updates. Each of the Windrunner sisters have experienced a tragic history that continues to haunt them even to this day. Finding family bloodlines in World of Warcraft, such as the Windrunners, is not commonplace, other than, of course, the Greymane family and King Anduins family in itself. And yes, of course, the Windrunners are front line because this is Sylvanas Windrunner, the war chief of the Horde. Now, the Windrunner sisters' stories echo of one another, and as a whole, they paint a family picture the likes of which we don't often see in World of Warcraft or in any other game. Let's take a look. Alleria Windrunner is the eldest sister and was expected to inherit her mother's position as Silvermoon's Ranger General. Imagine the shock when Alleria turned down this position to join the Farstriders. Alleria earned a reputation for skill in battle and, of course, for killing an insane number of trolls during the Troll Wars. Yet, despite her love for her family, when the Alliance of Lordaeron came calling, she left to join them, even though she was not ordered to do so. Now, during the Second War, a surprise attack resulted in the murder of most of her family, including her brother. Now, this hit her harder than she was willing to admit, and she was devastated. So, she set to work killing any orc that she laid eyes on. Along her journey, she found support and love, but not from one of her own, but from a human paladin named Tyrillian. Now, he comforted her through her loss, supported her through her sorrow, and kept supporting her and pushing her when she might very well have given up and given in to her blind quest for revenge and vengeance. As the middle sister, Sylvanas took Alleria's place, and she joined with the Rangers, just as her mother had done. Now, eventually, Sylvanas inherited the Ranger General title, and Sylvanas went on to surprise everyone by admitting a human, Nathanos Maris, into the ranks of the Blood Elf, or the Elf Army. Now, at this point, this was unheard of, and it could be because there was more than just an appreciation of skill involved in the promotion. There was rumors that the two were in a romantic relationship, but it never was confirmed as far as I know. However, her stubborn persistence in the choice of Nathanos was rewarded by a very loyal ally who worked just as hard and diligently and was just as skillful as any other. Now, Arpus's relentless assault was stopped time and time again due to her efforts. Unfortunately, she was not able to single-handedly stop the Scourge, and Arpus's wrath was her ultimate undoing. He killed her and used Frostmourne to do so in order to deny her a clean death. And instead, he ripped her soul back into the world, creating one of the first Banshees. Now, Sylvanas broke free of the Lich King and reclaimed her body, and she rallied together those who also had struggled and shrugged off the Lich King's control, and they created an empire of the Forsaken. Now, Sylvanas and her followers would eventually join the Horde, and Sylvanas, when she died, she lost her whole family. The Forsaken then became her family, but she never forgot the sisters that she left behind. Now, a lot of people have speculated as to why Sylvanas is so adamant about her protection and stability of the Forsaken. If it's the only family you have, you got to protect it. Now, as the youngest sister, Alleria Windrunner, looked up to Sylvanas, and she eagerly followed the footsteps of Sylvanas and Alleria, joining the Farstriders at a very young age. Alleria was too young to fight in the Second War, but she did experience the sorrows and the loss of her family all the same. Now, without Ronan's support, she may have very well fallen into the same spiral of magical withdrawal as her kin. Now, all three sisters did suffer tragedy over the course of their lifetimes. One by one, the sisters split apart. Alleria lost beyond the Dark Portal. Sylvanas lost her life in the Third War. And Alleria slipped away from the Elven society as a whole. When she married Ronan, her sisters were gone, so she had nothing to really hold her back, or no reason to stay. Now, despite the well-respected Windrunner name, none of the sisters followed the expected path. They did hold a reputation for being unconventional, and it almost seemed at times in a way as though the Windrunners was searching for something that they just could not find. But what? Alleria and Alleria both chose to start families with human men, and Sylvanas may have done the same if she had not died in the Third War. And I believe if she had have married anyone, it would have been possibly Nathanos. Despite the differences in the lifespan, there was something about humanity that appealed to all the sisters of the Windrunner clan. But they also shared a thirst for vengeance and for revenge. It was not as easily seen in the others, but it was very obvious in Sylvanas' single-minded pursuit of revenge against Arthas. Alleria held a lot of the same attitude of the orcs and her hatred of them. And even Alleria held stubbornly to her wish for vengeance after her husband Ronan's death. Now, in war crimes, Alleria reunited with her sister Sylvanas, and initially it was in the name of procuring a poison to murder Garrosh Hellscream. But over the course of their meetings, they began to rekindle their family ties. Sylvanas even made Alleria a shocking offer to join her and co-lead the Forsaken. But after much thought, Alleria eventually came to her senses, realizing that her children had no place in Undercity. And that decision nearly broke Sylvanas, which is when she redoubled her efforts to strengthen the Forsaken, and it was a cruel reminder that regardless of her feelings, she could never truly rejoin her family that she'd left behind. While all three Windrunner sisters followed drastically different paths, there was still similarities between them, and they also shared a love for each other that they've held on to their entire life. Even Sylvanas, her relationship with Orisa seemed to all but be destroyed after the events of the war crimes. Now, what will she do in the face of Alleria's reappearance? Whether or not the Windrunner Sisters will ever truly be reunited seems to be something that only time will tell. Now, each of them are a force to be reckoned with in their own right, but as a united trio strengthened by their family ties, the possibilities are not only terrifying but endless. Now, what do you think about the Windrunner Sisters? Is there an NPC that you would like to know more about the lore of? Let me know in the comments section below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and as always, have a great day. I'll see you soon in Azeroth.